for the first time, I was challenged with something I couldn't just dismiss or something I recognised that as being real, and made me think, well, perhaps there's more than what I thought. Now, I did have a challenge put to me. There was a couple of things. One was, how do you know unless you read the Bible? And I thought, okay, I'll start reading the Bible, and I was actually laughing at it. I thought this was ridiculous. Who could believe that? And also, initially asked, how do you know? And so I actually said quite sincerely in my mind at one stage, I said, if God, you're there, then I want to know. So I was also quite adamant that there was nothing out there, nothing was going to happen. Anyway, when I ended up in this meeting, I heard and saw these things, and I thought, perhaps there's more than I realised. I went to meetings for a few weeks. I just watched and listened to these people just talk about a God that answered prayer, a God that did miracles. And in particular about this experience of receiving the Holy Spirit and speaking this new language you hadn't learned. And somehow a change happened to me because I was quite happy as I was. I wasn't looking for a change in my life. But then I was presented with this gospel, I somehow recognised it being real. So when asked, I said yes, I'll get baptised, which I did one night, and a couple of minutes later I prayed, and I received this Holy Spirit, started speaking this new language, and my life changed. I had a good life, I had a good family upbringing. There was no particular hang-ups, but my life still changed. And that was 34 years ago roughly now, and what I think back then is very much in sync with my friends, and I was going through those things. But when I was filled with the Holy Spirit, they just wanted me to stop talking. I had this amazing change. I was happy to talk about the Lord and what He'd done in my life, and just over the years, many things happened. I was seeing a number of miracles. I've seen a sprained ankle go down before my eyes. Seeing a lot of people's changed lives, and for instance, I went through some really tough times as well. It hasn't all been good, and it has some amazing lessons as well. And I had a marriage breakdown, which was really hard. But then we met Julie, and we've got a fantastic marriage now. And just day by day, I know the Lord is true. He does give. He is an answer for life today. We've still got this hope the Lord's going to return. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. When Jesus does return, He's going to rule and reign, it's going to be exciting, and I want to be part of it. Amen.
The dentist. The last line, the dental assistant goes home and you're stuck in the seat. I had it in Gore actually, there's a particular dentist where I come from, country town, and his last patient for the day, he gave person the anaesthetic and disappeared, locked up, went away. left this lady in the dentist chair, and the security guard came and said, what are you doing? And waited for the dentist. So. It happens. Okay, so I was here back in 1975. I used to work here. I used to live here. I don't really remember much at all actually back in those days, from those days. So I was here for about 13 months, and we were was involved with the Noah's Restaurant. I don't know if anybody remembers that. You do? It's disappeared, so that's sort of, I on my way into this job, I must be honest with you. I thought it was a sort of site engineer's job, and I said I can do that. So I got the job, but it's probably too much stress because all I did was get drunk and play rugby. So back in my unconverted state, of course, but I was here. So I sort of classed myself as a little bit Kiwi, just a little bit. So, but I come here and didn't recognise anything. I remember the gardens over here in the river and stuff like that, but we were going around town today, just being shown around what had happened, and because it's all so changed. But I guess you can look at it as being devastation or a new beginning, and I just seen this incredible opportunity here. I know it's not easy, it hasn't been easy on you, of course, but I just see this incredible beginning. And I'm the sort of pastor that owns a golf course. I feel like, it's like, people ask me, I say, oh yes, I own a golf course. But so do you. So it's yours as much as it is mine. I'll say that. But it gets a bit, and it was in disrepair. Sort of closing down as a business. So we purchased this 5.4 acres of par 3 golf course. It used to be an old dairy. Dairy over here is like a bakery, isn't it? So this is where the cows and stuff. So it used to be an old dairy, and so we had club rooms on it. The members built. It was in disrepair, so we had to complete reno on the whole place, new foundations in all the wet areas, cut them up and dig them out and all this sort of stuff. Just about replaced everything, the electrical, the plumbing, everything's up to standard now, and it's been a lot, I must say, it's been a lot of hard work. And we bought it maybe 2 years ago. We spent 17 months working hard, and I never thought as a pastor I'd be on Barra and the wheelbarrow and the electric, this concrete saw and all this sort of stuff. It's not working really well for me. I haven't sort of organised this very well, but it's been really hard work, and I just kind of think I came here exhausted, I must say. I came here as a bit of a whinger, which is, acceptable. So I was worn down. I didn't recognise the fact that I was tired out, exhausted, and you sort of become critical as a person, I believe, and that's one of the signs that you probably need a break. But I rang back. We're having actually an outreach back home this weekend, and the saints are all pouring in to do the outreach, and they're in unbelief. They can't believe what's happened. This transformation that's taken place, and they're beside themselves. And sorry, Pastor Paul, but they're all moving to Gawler now. They want to come up, and so we've got a lot of people from Pastor Paul's assembly in Woodcroft to do this outreach, and they said they haven't seen anything like it. And to me, it just became all hard work. It got to that stage, and I realised that it's all about the plan of the Lord. And I guess we, like Pastor Brian and Kay, we've been through the cancer journey with my grandson, and you can ask why, and it's not been easy. I thought the same, that I prayed for my grandson. I get really emotional when I talk about this, by the way, so I won't have a moment, but we went on this long prayer and fasting. I expected the Lord to heal him on the spot. He had rhabdomyosarcoma cancer, very rare. No one's really survived that sort of cancer. Went through 2 ops, chemo, radiotherapy, the whole lot. He's 10 months, 13 years old, in August, and he's just been given the all clear. And but it was a long journey. It was a hard road. It was really ugly. It didn't go the way I thought. Nevertheless, the story is it's all part of God's plan, and he's a little hero. He plays club soccer, scored 4 goals last match he played, and Julie, of course, has been through the cancer. We didn't plan for that, of course, but the Lord's brought us through, and so. Yeah, it hasn't always been easy, and Brian talked about the flat pack, and we certainly had that. Actually, I I decided to buy a hut, or I purchased the plans to build a hut. Paraguayan hut, very romantic. There's heat stringer on it. I'm an air conditioning guy, and this is serious. And I thought I could do it, but all I got was the plans that I had to tear each page out, put them all together, and they didn't fit. So I've just got the neck done, and I'll probably never finish it, but sometimes it's the way it is. You know, you've got this desire. I looked after a lad in jail for 3 years, and he came out, ended up getting married, and Sacred Hearts, expensive wedding, and they had this harp, and it was the most marvellous sound I've ever heard. And I thought, why would you use these things in our assembly? So I decided to build one. So when I finish it, I'll pass the plans to Todd. Yeah. So anyhow, let's talk about tonight. I really want to talk about Nehemiah. You've probably heard this 1,000 times, this sort of talk, but I'll just paraphrase Nehemiah, just Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 6. What's this look like with wheels on? I was looking at this and I think, that's what they push, the old folks push around. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so this is my bit I want to talk about. So we built the wall, and all the wall was joined together under the half thereof, for the people have a mind to work. So you mostly know the story of Nehemiah. Chapter 1, it talks about how the brethren were in great affliction and reproach, and the wall of Jerusalem was broken down, and the gates burned down with fire. And Nehemiah, of course, he was the king's cupbearer. It says in verse 4 of chapter 1, he wept, mourned and cried and fasted. In chapter 2, the king, Artaxerxes Longimanus, I think that's the pronunciation. You can sort that out later. He questions Nehemiah's sad countenance and gains consent to rebuild the wall, much to the displeasure of Sanballat and Tobiah. I'll explain who they are. Sanballat's daughter became the wife of one of the sons of the high priest, basically, and Tobiah, he was a chap that they got him a little unit in the chamber in the courts of the house of God when Nehemiah was absent. So they were very much in the background, in the ears of the people, and trying to undermine all the way through. And chapter 2 talks about Nehemiah becomes the governor of Judea, comes to Jerusalem, and secretly gets on his donkey and surveys the state of things, and very much keeps everything close to his chest to maintain control. It's something I've had to learn. It goes on in chapter 3, they organise the rebuilding of the wall. That in chapter 4, the persecution starts. It really comes on thick and fast. It says so they builded the wall with the trowel and the sword, and they had to really be on guard there. Chapter 5, it talks about how the Jews put the workers under tribute, so Nehemiah has to sort that issue out quickly. So he's very much on the job, this chap. Part B of chapter 5, Nehemiah refuses the portion of the governor, the wages of the governor, or the allowance, and he's back in the trenches with the boys. He's working side by side with the men, because he had a fear of the Lord, the Bible says. And then chapter 6, Sanballat and Tobiah plan to assassinate Nehemiah. So it's getting really nasty here. They build a wall. Nehemiah appoints faithful men to take charge over Jerusalem after the completion of the wall, which took about 6 months, I believe. So they're really on the job. Chapter 8 talks about how Nehemiah brings in the book of the law of Moses and re-establishes the word of God and draws the line in the sand. So I just want to really look at Nehemiah, the character really of Nehemiah tonight, and relating it to your the plan of God in your life and my experience with this building. I mean, Pastor John said it normally breaks the local pastor, and I agree. And you've got all these challenges that you never had before. You've still got to run an assembly, but you've got to do the work. And a few things I learned. So he was in a position of honour and trust. And you've been drawn, or you've been raised up to that appointment. You've been put in a position of trust and honour. And he was a man of compassion. And when he learned the mournful and desolate condition of the holy city, he said he wept and mourned certain days. He was a man of prayer. And when you read the book of Nehemiah, the first thing he does is seek the Lord in prayer and fasting. He really puts in, it's a real personal thing, his relationship with the Lord. And that's a must. It's a must for you and I. We have to have that personal relationship with the Lord. I mean, I challenge my people. We've got about 75 seats at the moment in this new hall, they're all full. So I asked them, how often do you pray every day? How much? And they were very honest, it was about 5 minutes a day. You know, you can't live on 5 minutes a day praying in the Holy Ghost. And so you see this chap here, Nehemiah, he was a man of prayer. He was a man of sincerity as the king observed his condition, his sadness. And the king was drawn to him. This was a very sincere, dedicated man. And he was the king's cupbearer. So, a man of action. He was on the job. He formed a plan of attack with the backing of the king. Kept things very close to his chest. So he had to maintain that control, as I said. So much so that the war was completed within 6 months. It's an incredible job he did. He was a front liner. He forsook the governor's portion, worked in the trenches with his men. Talking about trenches, you ever been to that around the corner? It's called the trenches. It's sort of run by the RSA. Another one. Yeah, we went to see there the other day. As we do observe Remembrance Day at the golf course, I was trying to find out some of the things they had, and I was talking about my past and all that. I thought up in the military as a lad, and one thing led to another. Anyhow, we're due our age, and we paid the bill, and she said, "Oh, you've got membership fees." So yeah, we got discounts, and now I'm a member. So it's just really good. It's fantastic. So breakfast with me, all day breakfast, your family members. So great. So, but he was in the trenches amongst the men, and I found that to my advantage, being a tradie and a pastor. Because sometimes the pastors are not wanted. On building sites, as one of the brothers challenged me. He says, I hate pastors. You heard that before? I said, you know what, so do I. But today I'm a tradie, so what are you going to say? And anyhow, we sort of march through, but it's a bit of a misconception in a lot of ways. Nehemiah was the man for the job. He was very, very organised. He got himself organised. You hear the saying, just pray about it, brother. Yeah, you got to pray about it, all right, but then you got to do the work, And so he was a frontliner, very quick to deal with the problems. As we point out in the story, how he dealt with the Jews when they're putting their own people under tribute, making it very, very difficult. The wisdom of the man displayed whilst he completed the wall. Then he dealt with Sanballat and Tobiah. So no distractions on the job, and it's a wise thing, because once you start the thing, you can't just let it go. You can't drop it halfway. And we started our relationship with the Lord. You might have been in the Lord for a couple of months, 40 years. It makes no difference with the Lord, but we've got to finish this, and we've got to have these same characteristics. And his dedication is very obvious when he remains in Judea for another 13 years after the wall's been finished, goes back to his old job with the king, and comes back again. Absence of around about 2 years, comes back again, and we think maybe he could have spent the rest of his time as the governor of Judea there. He wasn't playing around with it. This is really serious, and it's getting really serious now in our relationship with the Lord and with the world. And I guess my challenge to you tonight is that, do you possess any of these attributes that Nehemiah sort of demonstrated with this incredible task? And I can answer that question for you, and it is yes. You can be full of the Spirit of God, with all the fruits of the Spirit working in your life if you so desire. But the next challenge really would be, are you going to be a player or a spectator? Are you just going to come along and, yes, it's great to be in the Lord, and this is where you sit, 4 rows back, and no one take my seat and all this sort of thing. And I love the Lord, but the world's going by, and another good talk, and can't wait to get home to have tea, and all this sort of stuff. But the Bible says we're all to do the work of the evangelist, and that's what's lacking. And I guess it's my job and your job to encourage one another to preach the gospel. The gospel of peace. In Goa, we have an ice epidemic. I don't know if you've ever dealt with people who've been on ice. I certainly have 3 people. One of the guys he was from a good family. His father was the principal at school. His mum was a school teacher. And when he came along, he was in a terrible state. We had to usher the girls, the twins, this one, take him out of the prayer room. He was, I don't know what he was doing, quite frankly, but he got filled with the Spirit. He calmed down, but unfortunately he just wouldn't let go of this habit. And we actually there was a siege on his house. Police would call in, the forces would call in. He was on his roof, and he had something to do with this cult thing with the wolf. And he was a full moon. He was howling on his roof, and he probably wasn't very funny, but anyhow, they couldn't get him down. And I think they had to lure him down with a bit of steak or throw a ball or something. But it's tragic. It's tragic. And we've had a few. A young lady from a good family again, and she came along, and she was on the ice, and she came in to steal from the Saints, and we ended up taking her home. We were suspicious of the whole thing. And as she got out of the car, she pulled Julie's handbag, but unfortunately she pulled out the music bag, which is full of Julie's music, and she couldn't lift it out. It's so easy, Sorry, but by the same token, and the suicide rate is extreme, back where we are, and I just think it was such a wonderful gospel, the power of God, the gospel of peace that we have, and you think you're not capable. You think, how do I relate to this generation? We probably don't, but the Word of God relates to each generation, doesn't it? And you don't have to feel like you're not good enough. But I think I've done my time. But all I can say is that there is something I wanted to finish on this. Just in John chapter 1, verse 47. Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and saying of him, "Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no God." And something I've learned through all this is that there was so much opposition, so much undermining, why do they need a golf course? What value is a golf course and why do we need a golf course? All this undermining, ridiculous behaviour by Simon. And if you listen to it, it really gets to you, I'm sort of session. Roger Federer, he's the tennis guy. He said when he's competing, he doesn't listen to news, paper, switches off social media, and that's basically what we've got to do. I sort of made agreement with this site foreman, the projects manager, which is Dave Coleman. I said, Dave, as much as we don't like what people are saying, we can't become like that. And we made an agreement, we just talk about positive things like rugby. Oh, it's not really. But we just rejoiced that we were part of the work of the plan of God. And things went well after that. And I realised that to be a person that has no guile, you ever met someone like that, they never have a bad thing to say about anybody. They're real people, but they seem to be able to change the subject. You can come away from a conversation, you think, it was not edifying, You don't want to get entangled into all that, but you come away and you feel like shooting yourself. And you think, how do I stop this? But it stops with you. And life can be really good, even when you're under pressure. So I'll leave it there, and all people said.
Excellent. Thanks for those calls. Prayer line, Pastor Mate? Yep, we're going to have a prayer line now. So we're going to invite the pastors up front here. Great time to seek the Lord for any needs that you might have. And for the rest of us that are sitting down, that life is going well, life is good, our prayers of encouragement can really support those that are coming forward. So if you have any needs for anything, provision, healing, salvation, come forward and they'll be people here to pray with the rest of us. Let's be mindful of them and bow our heads in prayer. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Father, we thank you because you know what people have to go through. So Lord, you know exactly being our sisters and seeking help here. Lord, there's often a lot of people that are having difficulties in their lives and their relationships. Lord, if you have the answer, like Father, we pray for a miracle in their lives. And Lord, we just pray that they will have someone come their way, maybe more than one person that's able to help them along their way with words of wisdom and to find the right scriptures and the right advice and everything for them. But Lord, we just pray that you'll be moving on each of them, Lord, to really bless them and to help them to see their own strengths and weaknesses, help them not to concentrate on the faults of anyone else, but rather to overcome and to be happy in you, Lord, and to let negative things to be driven away from them, Lord. Father, help them to just be really positive and to grow and to rejoice, because when we're rejoicing in thee, we know the scriptures say that the joy of the Lord becomes our strength. So Father, just help our sister here to be able to help in if it comes to her to be needing to talk to someone. We just pray that the whole situation will work out for your glory. We pray in Jesus' name. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Mighty Savior. Thank you. Amen.
All the people said, amen. Okay, we won't hold you up too long, but after the meeting tonight, we've got supper in the section here. There is quite a bit of supper, nice stuff, and tea and coffee, so hang around and have a chat. We might look at about 9:15, or it's getting towards 9:20 at the moment. Not sure that we have to be out of here by 10, but we'll probably start looking to get moving around about 10 o'clock, so I can get home and go to bed. So you can always, people staying around this area and in this complex, you can always invite people back to your place, I suppose, if you want to carry things on for a little bit. Just tomorrow, we're going to need a few volunteers for different things. Might have to put those glasses on so I can see who you are. Now, we've got a few people who are just directing people, sort of ushering people in, that sort of thing, looking at new people that might be coming in. Just remind these people that they will be directing people inside, outside YMCA on Hereford Street 15 minutes before the start of the meeting. So the idea is about 15 minutes before the start of the meeting that you're around to usher people in and direct them in. So Sunday morning, Luke is doing that. Sunday afternoon, Jean is doing that. Sunday evening, we'd like somebody to do that. If we want to volunteer, just 15 minutes before the meeting, look out to somebody, marking it back there. All right, and we need an usher tomorrow night, somebody who'll be here and sort of directing people in and where to sit, etc., and greeting them. So we've got Paul Derbyshire Sunday morning, we've got Matt Wilmot Sunday afternoon. We need somebody for Sunday evening. Everyone just be an usher for the first part of the meeting. Okay, Bill Allen, Pastor Bill Allen. Yes, okay, supper on tonight. That's it. All right, let's all stand and we will close with a word of prayer and we will ask Pastor Bill Allen. Praise you, Lord.
Yes, Father, we do thank you that we have been called out of darkness and into the light. We have been called into a wonderful plan. It's no longer our plan, it's yours, and it's just remarkable. But nevertheless, it's true. You filled us with power and glory. You filled us with your Spirit. You've opened up our hearts and minds to the wonderful plan that's declared, revealed in your word. You brought us into a wonderful church, the body of Christ. And you've given us a future and a destiny and a direction. Father, you've empowered us to more than be conquerors. So we just thank you for your blessing. And for anybody that does have a need, Lord, a further need this night, we uphold them, whether they're here or not, that the rich and the full blessing of Jesus would rest upon them and continue to bless this weekend the saints here in Christchurch and New Zealand, Lord, that continue to see the revival flourish and to see, Lord, be sung. Praise your name.
Hallelujah. Glory to the living God. Thank you, Savior.
Sorry, before you go, just remember that I did need volunteers for something else, and that is We need some people for creche. We'd like people just to be able to do half-hour slot and then move back into the meeting. So we've got some people, but we need another 7 to do a half-hour slot at times. So Julie's having a look around, a couple of people over here, we see here, 6, 7, 8, 9. You might actually need more than that because the meeting tomorrow morning might go for 2 hours. So yeah, that would be good. If all those people put their hands up, maybe if you see Julie, and she'll arrange what slot you'll be on. Okay, thank you very much.
What was that? Oh, it's all good. We'll finish it on your face, Brennan.
You're wearing your
Okay, yeah, I'm just about to do that.